Left side open door, one 𝗲𝗲.
𝗲𝗲.
Yeah, nomad.
Yeah, no, mid.
He's dead.
Yeah, vibes.
One more, one more.
Nomad low hallway and vibes.
I'm going to be demonstrating on this doorway right here, and I'm going to be peeking a hypothetical enemy behind the pixel on the fallen cabinet over there. Like, my lean binds are Q and E, and obviously the steps are the same for all binds, it's just I'm going to be using Q and E to demonstrate. Step 1 is the initial lean. The initial lean is getting yourself to the position where you're leaning in the direction you want to peek, in our case it's left, before you expose yourself to the angle you want to peek. Right, so if we're peeking around the left, we want to be leaning left before we expose ourselves to the angle. Now you can go into this in multiple ways. You could either walk into it and ADS towards the end, or you can be already ADS and then just walk into it leaning left, or you could sprint into it and lean left at the last second, and I need to make sure I'm leaning left before I expose myself as such. Step 2 is peek cancellation. We've gotten into a position where we're leaning left before we've exposed ourselves, and we're probably ADS by now. Next, you're going to want to peek the enemy. We can either kill him if our reflexes are fast enough, or simply gather the intel of his head location and then adjust your crosshair accordingly, and now we're going to want to do the actual peek cancellation. That is where, since we've peeked now, we want to strafe right and lean right to cancel our peek as fast as possible and get behind cover. Now, step 3 is simply a one key addition to this process. That's where we cancel the right lean with a left lean. So we've peeked, we've gathered the intel, we want to now cancel this peek, which is step 2. That's where we strafe and lean right with D and E. But instead of completing this right lean, we're actually going to cancel it with a left lean. However, you have to keep in mind that we're continuing to strafe to the right to get into cover as fast as possible. So we peek, we're going to strafe and lean right, but we're actually going to cancel the right lean with a left lean, like that. Now if you've noticed, we continue to strafe right, and the right lean was actually cancelled by the left lean. So let's just do a full recap of the 3 steps real quick. So step 1, we're leaned and ADS before we peek. Step 2, we peek and then we get into cover using D and E, and step 3 is cancelling the right lean with the left lean, like that. Now the steps I showed you get you into this position. And if you noticed, this is exactly the position you need to be in for step 1. Step 1 is leaning left before exposing yourself. So we are in cover and we haven't exposed ourselves yet, and we are leaning left. We are ready to go for the second one now. And you just repeat the steps. You peek, gather intel, lean and strafe right, and cancel with the left lean, like that. So once you do the first one, you're already all set to go for the next.